Okay, we are live on TikTok and we are recording for the YouTube podcast, The Jolly Good Natter over coffee and biscuits. Glad you could join us. My name is Richard Story, and as always, I am joined by my erstwhile friend and companion. Yes, you're right, the one who never forgets his name, and he's going to prove it again. Go on, tell us what's your name. Concentrate. It'll come on.
Mark Cameron.
Mark Cameron is in the house. Now, here's the thing. Hello, TikTokers. Thank you. Oh, you're all coming in. Oh, Aditya, you're here, and that's nice to see you. And thank you for all of you watching on the YouTube. Now, you will be aware, if you've been following these podcasts for a while, that we have had loads of special guests. We've had Tate from the Big Brother house. We've had Sam from the Big Brother house. We've had Fabio, who's recording an album of my music in a few months' time. And we've got a few more exciting things in the pipeline in terms of special guests as well. But we realized, that we haven't done one of these podcasts, just the two of us. Just that. Just like it was in days of old when we first started doing this.
That'd be true. Yeah.
Yes. So we thought we owed it to you, the viewers, you, the TikTokers, to, just do a thing. Because when we have guests, we can't sort of follow the questions easy. It does become a bit more of a nightmare, doesn't it? So, hello, TikTokers. Thank you for all your questions. Please do keep them coming, and I will do our best to read those and answer those. But better still, if you are anywhere in the area, and for those of you watching on TikTok, be aware this is Saturday, 11th of April, so, only come if you're here on the day. If you're anywhere nearby...
that'd be very awkward.
It would rather, yes. But if you're anywhere close to Mozart London, 69 Annerley Road, London SE19, we'll be here for the next at least hour or so. So if you're nearby, come on in and join the fun. We'll be very glad to see you. So, Mr. Cameron, how have you been since we last spoke? Have you been up to anything exciting?
Well, it's been end of term, so I've been very busy with my eldest daughter. I saw her at one point as well. Hi, Amelia, if you are watching. And my youngest stayed with me for a week, 8 days. So I'm being very busy looking after my children.
Oh, well, that's good. You've been doing the daddy thing.
I have.
I'm very glad to hear that.
So as you can probably hear in my voice, I'm pretty tired.
You do sound a little bit husky, it's true. Well, I keep telling you should shouldn't your head off so much.
I don't shout.
Well, that's true. That's what explains why I can't hear you.
Yeah. but yeah, it's been very good. I've really enjoyed the end of term with both my kids. So yeah,
I'm very glad to hear that. And now you're just kind of putting your feet up and
yes,
having
enjoying the conversation,
the conviviality of the Mozart London bar. Yes, indeed. Well, look, you see that they're coming in droves, all the TikTok followers. Well, do you want to know what I've been up to?
That'd be great. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you then, since you asked so nicely. Let me just have a.
By the way, trading standards can't get us this time.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Well, at least I've got coffee. You haven't. But that's all right.
I have a tea. So, but yes, that's the main thing. Though,
at least one of us is.
Yeah. we could have got done before, couldn't we?
Well, technically, yes, but no one would do that. We're too nice.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Well, at least I am.
Yeah.
Well, yes, indeed. Well, yes. So it's all been quite exciting because I write these guitar pieces, and Fabio's going to be recording some soon. Well, in fact, two of his pieces are coming out on an album next month. Two of my pieces that he recorded already for his first album, but then the other album I'm always, going off about is he's recording that in July. But anyway, that's him. But there's another fellow who is a professor of music at the University of Mexico. And he premiered two of my pieces there last Saturday. And he sent me, they made a little video, a bit like what we're doing here. And he sent it over to me. And it was ever so nice to see that. And he was playing them very well as well. And they were very well received. Yeah. So that was kind of nice. And I was just slightly regretful that I couldn't be there in person. Sure. But he did ask me to make a little sort of 30-second video. A 30-second video to say, I wish you all the best and I hope the concert goes well. And they actually played it as part of the concert. It was there on the screen. And when he showed me the video, there it was. So it was kind of nice. And at the end of it, when I said all the best and I hope it goes well, and they all clapped the silent screen. But that was nice. That was a nice little moment.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
So that was good. So that's one thing that's happened. Go on, ask me something.
Will you be going to Mexico though? That's the big question.
Well, it's not on the cards at the moment, but you just never know, do you? I mean, when Fabio played in Alicante, when he played some of my pieces there, he asked me if I'd like to go and hear them, and that was all a little bit last minute-ish. And my first thought was, well, all the way to Spain just to hear a couple of pieces. I know how they go anyway. I wrote them, and then I thought, actually, it might be rather nice. So I did. I went, and it was rather nice. It was super to go in here and play those, and how well it was. It's lovely, you know, when you hear someone play your music so very well. You just sit there and go, all is well with the world.
Yeah,
It's
really
true.
nice.
It's true. It's like when someone reads one of my books and they come back and say, I read your book and it was really great. Oh, thank you. Because they could have read it and thought that was terrible and they just don't say anything. But when they take the trouble to say, I really like it, and I've gone and bought another one, I mean, you know, which has been happening.
Yeah.
All you wonderful TikTokers, if you've been reading my books, thank you so much. And especially to those of you who bought more than one. And you know how I'm talking about, Margaret. Yes.
How many's Margaret bought?
Margaret's bought 4.
Oh, wow.
And that reminds me, not only has Margaret bought 4, God bless her. Are you here, Margaret, by the way? I haven't been watching the text, excuse me. But she messaged me to say, would it be possible to get a signed copy of one of the books, you see? And the only way we could do it practically, because she's in Northern Ireland, you see. So the only way we could do it was if I signed a copy. I've got copies at home in my cupboard. So I said, well, I can sign one of those and just post it to you if you don't mind giving me your address. So we did that and off it went. Well, that opened the floodgates because lots more TikTokers have been saying, oh, can I have a signed copy as well? So the last couple of days, I've just been sitting there at home, parceling up books and addressing packages and carting them down the post office. And then what's especially nice is they've been sending me a little photo saying, it's arrived, here it is. So it's all rather nice. You know, it's lovely, lovely. Yeah. So if you've been reading my books, thank you. Thank you.
Brilliant.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and I really hope you enjoy them. And I'm looking forward to completing my latest one, which is very near to finish.
Yes, you did tell me. You did tell me a couple of weeks ago that you had a period of time where you just managed to sit down and actually write.
That's right.
Probably, you said you did probably about 50% of it.
Oh well, it was about 80%.
Oh right,
and it's much nearer now. And I was hoping actually that I would have got it finished by now. It isn't yet because actually some other things happened, like having to parcel up lots of books and send them out.
Take up much of your day now, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the thing about my writing, you see, is when I'm actually doing it, I can't just do it in a spare half hour here and there. I've got to have the whole day clear, so I don't need to think about anything else. And I just sit there and can focus on that. And people say, oh, you write for a whole day. How much do you write in a day? And when I tell them, well, I manage about 1,200 words in a day, if you average that out, that's not very fast, actually, you know, in terms of how many words an hour or a minute. You see secretaries who can speed type, and they go, and it's so fast. But you see, 1,200 words a day, a lot of that time, I'm just sitting there looking into space and thinking, okay, how do I get from here to here? What's the most plausible way of doing it? No, sorry. Someone's just come into the shop. We could invite them. We could invite them to say something.
Yes.
No. So yes, I've got to have the whole day. And a lot of that time will be just spent concentrating and thinking. So it would appear to be a slow process, but it doesn't feel slow because my mind, like the wheels are turning round all the time.
But this is what I spoke to you about previously before. The art of thinking has almost gone in a way from a lot of people because they're distracted by their phones and computers and things like that. But the art of thinking is great because once you can get into that form of, right, okay, you can actually plan, you can actually construct or action something because you've been thinking about how to actually do it. Because you need to have a plan, don't you?
Yes.
And it's all good following someone or watching something on YouTube, but it's all about taking action. As well. And
definitely.
That's the main thing. So hats off to you because you've written. How many books is it now, by the way?
Well, this one that's almost done. When it's finished, that'll be my 16th. Yes.
Do you have a set number of books that you're going to get up to and think?
The answer to that is no. But as a little kind of a offshoot of that question, one of my output is called the Ruritanian Rogues Saga, and it currently stands at 6 volumes, and volume 6 ends on a cliffhanger. And when I got to that moment, I fully intended to write volume 7, and I still do. But I wrote those 6 volumes on the bounce, one after the other. And when I got to the end of volume 6, I was a bit Ruritanian out. I just kind of thought, I've got to have a break from that.
Yeah.
And so far, I haven't gone back to it, but I do want to. And some of the readers have said, well, what happens at the end of volume 6? Well, I know what happens at the end, but I have to sit down and write it. Yeah. So when you say, have you got a certain number?
Yeah.
I know that there's at least one more that I've got to do, and maybe more than that.
Well, you sound the same as the I forgot the person's name who writes the Game of Thrones books.
Oh yes.
And he obviously wrote so many books, and then he stopped writing for an extended period of times, and the fans were crying out.
Oh.
And so you sound like him, don't you?
Do I really?
Yeah. Maybe someone in the TikTok or in the chat can actually let us know the name of the person who writes the Game of Thrones books.
Oh yes, yes. Come on, TikTokers, we need your knowledge. I'm just scrolling through here. Lots of people have joined, and that's great. But so far we haven't got any questions. It's just saying people have joined. Oh, Jodie says Richard loved you in Big Brother. Thank you, Jodie. I loved it in there as well. Even though a certain young lady had the knives out for me all the time. All the time. But I've somehow lived to tell the tale.
Yes.
Yeah, I wake up in the night, in a cold sweat, thinking she's still there. Yeah, I don't actually. I was just adding that for a bit of drama.
I bet.
Mm.
Ah, brilliant.
Mm.
So, do you have any plans for next week? Because today's, as you mentioned, the 11th of April.
11th of April. So if you're in the area, 11th of April, you might have just joined the TikTok Live more recently. Anywhere nearby, pop in. We're here. I'll tell you what, if you come in and say, I loved you on Big Brother, you're my favourite person ever, I'll buy you a coffee. How about that? Yeah, did you hear that? But don't you come, because it's the wrong day. Now, by the time you're listening to this, we've already gone home. But you on here, you can come.
But you can still come in anyway, because it's a nice bar. So
of course you can. Yes. You can buy one of my books while you're here. I'll sign it for you if I'm in here.
So, as I mentioned, do you have anything planned for next week? But even though today is quite cold, I'm not too sure where everybody is, but in the UK, but it is quite particularly cold today.
Well, it is, and it's strange because the last few days, like 3 days ago, it was lovely, clear spring weather, and it felt like, this is how England is supposed to be, in England in the spring.
That's right. Because I took my daughter swimming on Wednesday, my youngest, and it was 26 degrees.
Well, there you go. Yes.
And today it's 10 degrees.
Yeah, since then it's chilled off a lot.
Yeah.
That's climate change for you, isn't it? Just imagine how much worse it would be if it wasn't for global warming. You see. By the way, one of my TikTok followers, his name is Digger Daz. I don't know what his real name is. That's what he's screaming.
Right, okay.
Yes. And he's always coming out with these little one-liners, and one of them stuck in my mind. He says, what did one plate say to the other plate?
I don't know.
Dinner's on me. But see, Digger Daz, if you're watching, I do pay attention.
That is the dad jokes.
Oh, yes.
Isn't it?
Well, that's all right. I'm a dad, and so are you. You should be allowed to say jokes.
True. Oh, yeah. How is your son doing?
Oh, thank you for asking.
Yes.
It's all going very well. Now, I can't remember how much I'd updated you on. He was actually quite desperate for a job. He'd applied for loads of things. And a lot of them he didn't particularly want to do, but he was applying because he needed to get a job somehow. And one of the ones that took him on was as a detention officer.
Yes, you did tell me
I did tell you that.
Yes.
Right. Now, from the very outset, I thought, gosh, now not only is that a dangerous job to do, I just don't think you've got the temperament for it. Anyway, he started the training, and he'd done it for 2 weeks, and he was calling me out every day and saying, Dad, I don't think I'm ready for this. Some of the things that the inmates do to the, throwing all sorts of unpleasant stuff at them, at the guards and everything. You just don't want to be in that situation, and certainly not someone like him, because he's a nice fella. But he's also a little guy, my son. He's not like one of these 22-stone hulking heavyweights, covered in tattoos or something. Anyway, he then had a reply from one of the other jobs he applied to, which was going to be one that he would be much more suitable for. And he said, we'd love you to start doing this job.
Fantastic.
It does have a little bit of training beforehand, so could you start on either this day or this day to do the training, you see? And he replied to them and said, actually, I could start sooner than that if you like. And they went, can you? Yes, please. Can you start Monday? So we're Saturday today, and he's starting on Monday.
So Monday the 13th.
Monday the 13th is going to be his first day. And both he and I are very happy with how that's turned out, because that other job, the detention thing, just wasn't it. I mean, he would almost be as bad as me doing it. Can you imagine me working in a jail situation?
Oh gosh, can you imagine?
I can imagine quite a lot, but I wouldn't want to do it. No.
You'd be a bit of a, unfortunately, you'd be a bit of a laughing stock.
Well, I would. I'd be a bit of an obvious target, wouldn't I?
Yes.
Yes.
They would look at you and go, "You,
yes.
seriously, you."
Yes, exactly. They would.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what they wouldn't do. They wouldn't be reading my books, would they?
Well, you never know.
Well,
you never know. There's always one.
Well, that's true. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I should go and be a prison officer in the hope that they start reading my books. Hello, prisoners. If you've got nothing to do for the next 27 years, why do you read all my books? Dear, oh dear.
So, any questions? Any questions?
Oh, yes. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Aditya says, good luck to your son, Richard. Thank you, Aditya. That's very kind of you. Actually, this is one of the few days we haven't spoken on the phone. We speak most days. So I will pass on your good wishes to him. Now, Jody says, what is your best and worst? Best and worst what, Jody? I don't know quite what you're referring to there. Please type your question in again. Me says, loving your jumper, Richard. Do you like this? I hope you do. Because I was up all last night knitting it. Actually,
so sending books off to fans,
yes.
And also knitting your own jumper.
well, not really. Hi, come on in. No, I didn't really knit it myself. This is my Christmas jumper.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm glad you like it. And if you want to come in, we can take a selfie together. You can stand next to me, and we can take a nice photo. Yes.
Fantastic.
Good plan. Right, okay, but I still haven't found. Hang on, I'm scrolling through here. Just bear with me. Oh, Matthew is here. Hi, Matthew. Hello. See, I'm recognizing all the names now on these TikTok lives. Jody says, well-deserved winner. Thank you, Jody. Oh, now, Jody, you said best and worst, but I don't know what you. Now, Me is asking a good question. I've asked you this question before. Me says, would Mark ever go on BB? Would Mark ever go on Big Brother? Now, you're going to hear it from the man himself, the man who never forgets his name. He is going to tell you. Go on. Would you ever go on Big Brother? Go on, tell us.
It wouldn't be something I would do myself personally.
After all that,
let you down, but no.
What am I going to do with you? What are we going to do with him? Hey? Now, why? Why are you so averse to it?
You've got a stronger mind than me in relation to being confined with, was it 12, 15 housemates?
Well, 16 in total. 16. To start with, of course, it got gradually fewer as it went on.
But yeah, you've got a stronger mind than me. There's nowhere to escape. So.
Well, you say that, but I mean, it was quite a large space in total. I mean, there were like all those different rooms, and they were all quite large. The only small one was a little snug area.
Yeah.
And then the storeroom was quite small, but you didn't want to go in there particularly.
Okay. I like going for my morning walk, my evening walks in nature. And if I'm confined in a building,
yes,
for, was it 6 weeks?
Yeah. Well, if you're in the whole time, it was 7 weeks, and the next series is going to be 8 weeks, the longest they've ever done.
There you go. So that's not for me. I like to be out in nature as well.
Well, it was a garden.
I saw that it was AstroTurf.
It was AstroTurf, and every plant that was in there was plastic. There was nothing. There was nothing natural there whatsoever.
Really?
No, nothing. But, I mean, the whole house is all very artificial and contrived.
Yeah.
But it wasn't small. It was spacious. You could actually get away from people if you really wanted.
Did you have any natural sunlight coming in as well?
No, only in the garden.
See, and that is what I don't like as well.
Yeah. Well, I made a point of taking my vitamin D tablets with me, because of course vitamin D forms naturally when you're out in the sun.
Yes.
But unless you were in the garden, which we only were for a short period of time, really, then you wouldn't get your vitamin D. So that was very important. And one of the things that happened, which you never actually saw on the series itself, one of the things, the cameras are rolling all the time, but they don't screen everything, of course. And one of the things they would say is we all got out of bed first thing in the morning and we're all having breakfast or whatever, and the voice would come, "This is Big Brother. Housemates, your medication is waiting for you in your locker." You see, some people had to take, I don't know, all kinds of funny things each day. But when in my little locker, there was the vitamin D. So that I knew that I would get that, even though I didn't get very much natural daylight.
Okay.
And I was okay. I was in good health all the way through. The one time I wasn't, actually, do you remember that task that we did called the perfect day task? Yes. The one where we had to, every time we made a mistake, we had to keep going back to bed and start the whole thing all over again. That's the one where I went very giggly. if you remember, and they actually showed me giggling on the screen, and I didn't mind that. That was fine. But what they didn't show you was that the giggling lasted a lot longer than they actually showed.
Yeah.
But one of the bits of that task was we had to do our nominations very fast indeed. We were given 7 minutes total for all the housemates to rush into the diary room, say what your nominations were, run back, tag the next person. They ran in. Okay,
Yeah.
so me, this fellow you're looking at now, 60 years old, I had to run very fast. What for me was very fast. Now, I hadn't run like that for about 40 years.
Yes.
I managed it. I did it.
And we know about your situation when you was in school with PE.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, physical exercise has never been your strongest point.
My career as an Olympic athlete never really took off. That's true.
Yeah.
But I did the running, and it was a kind of okay. Yeah. But 2 days later, when I woke up that morning, I was aching in places that I'd never ached before. So I toddled off to the diary room, and I said, "Hello, Richard. How are you this morning?" Well, I'm okay, but I'm aching in places I've never ached before because of all that running. So can I have a couple of paracetamol, please?
Yeah.
They'll be in your locker. Okay, thank you. So as well as my vitamin D that morning, I also had a couple of paracetamol. See, so apart from that, I said I'm in good health, and I was, and everything was fine. But I did have to resort to a little bit of pain relief.
Sure, I can imagine.
On that occasion.
I can imagine,
yes. Yes. Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to say something else, deeper profound.
No, the laughter is me saying something else in itself.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because you was in pain from, where was you in pain? Was it legs, shoulders, back, all over?
It's a good question. I can't remember now. It must have been legs, I think. Yes. Yeah. I can't. It must have been that. I can't remember.
Well, you can go jogging with me.
I could do. Yes. I could do that. I'll think about it.
Okay.
I've thought about it. Anyway, now what should we talk about?
Any more questions?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, well, there we are. That's the one we've just been talking about. Right. Zoe says loved you on Big Brother as well. Thank you, Zoe. Cameron is here. Sophie is here. Oh no, we've done that one already. I see. So when Jodie says, "What's your best and worst?" she was referring to what's your best and worst memory of Big Brother. Ah, right. Well,
good question.
Yeah, my best memory. Actually, there were lots of them. I mean, one thing that happened lots of times. Which was I really, really enjoyed my visits to the diary room. I mean, I really enjoyed my visits to the diary room, and it was a pity that they didn't show more of them. Because when Tate, you remember Tate, who was one of our guests recently, he told me afterwards that whenever he went to the diary room, he felt like he was like a naughty boy being summoned to the headmaster's study. But he said, I watched it back and I've seen you on there, and you took it to him. You took the battle to him, didn't you? And I thought, actually, yes, I did do. And I said some things on there that were really quite cheeky. I took some liberties and everything. And I think, to this day, I'm convinced that Big Brother did enjoy the way that I spoke to him.
I'm pretty sure they did.
And I liked it. And it's a pity they didn't show more of them. And one of my favourite ones was when I said to him, Big Brother, you're being so cowardly staying behind your camera all the time. Why don't you come out and show your face and don't be so frightened? I'm sure you're not that ugly. I'm sure you're not that covered in pock marks and pustules and all that. You can't be that wizened and wrinkly. Anyway, it kind of all went silent. And then he said something else. And I said, and because you won't show your face, I think it's pretty clear to me that we have to just go on the sound of your voice. And I'm listening to the sound of your voice, and I think it's a fair assumption that I'm older than you are. And again, he's silent. I said, okay, I'll take that as a yes. Right, now, if I'm older than you, Big Brother, it's a bit silly for me to call you Big Brother, isn't it? So I think it's better if I call you Little Brother. Don't you think so? And again, I could hear a little chuckle in the background.
I was just about to ask you that. Which was there periods of time where the silence was more longer than normal because you knew that you made them laugh, or in that case, you could hear someone laughing?
That's right. There were some things like that.
Yes. That's brilliant.
Because, there's a sort of an air of mystery surrounding whoever the voice is. But at the end of the day, they're still a human being as well. And I capitalized on that. And there was one particularly nice moment I really enjoyed, but again, they didn't show it, you see. So you're getting all the inside gossip here. Is when we had the Bad Brother task. Do you remember Bad Brother, where I had to dress up as a sort of Gestapo officer? Do you remember that
Oh,
one?
yes.
Yeah. And he said, you have to give the housemates a very bad day and all of that. Anyway, towards the end of that, again, I was summoned to the diary room, like everybody was at one point or another, and sat down there, and we were doing a little bit of a debrief. And he says, with that kind of sinister voice throughout the whole day, he said, "Richard, you're bad, aren't you?" And I went, "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are. Bad to the bone." And I said, "No, I'm not. You are." I said, "I'll tell you what." I said, "If you could get Cameron, Emily, and Marcus to all stand in a row and tell you that I'm a bad person, then I might give some credit to what you're saying. However," I said, "how many series of this show have there been? How many people have sat in this chair? And if you can't tell by now whether someone is a good or a bad person, then maybe it's time for you to consider your position. I'm going to be here a little while. If your CV isn't prepared, I can help you do that if you like." Silence.
Well, the original bad boy from Big Brother is Nasty Nick.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. See, so anybody who got a chance, go onto YouTube, type in Nasty Nick from Big Brother. I think he was the first in the first series or first or second series of Big Brother.
Right.
And he is very famous famous for some of the things he did. Magical. You won't forget.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't be quite as unkind as that. All my stuff was in good spirit.
Yes.
Yeah. And in fact, when we had the party at the end of the whole series, when the whole thing was done and the whole cast and crew and everybody all gathered together, we had a party, and I met the voice of Big Brother. I actually met the guy there at the party. And he came and shook my hand and, "Oh, nice to see you, nice to see you." And my first words to him was, I said, "There you go, told you weren't ugly." Oh, good way to get the party started. Now then, here we got someone with a name that's just made up of letters and numbers says, "Do you want to be a granddad?" Now, I don't know who they're asking that to. Well, I'm a granddad already.
Yes, you are. They don't know you fully then, do they?
Well, no, but see, no, I'm a granddad of 3. And what's nice about that is when they were expecting their first one, but before they knew whether it was a boy or a girl, they phoned me and said, "We've decided that if it's a boy, we're going to call him Richard after you." And I thought, "Well, that's very sweet of you. Thank you so much." Well, as it turned out, it was a little girl. So they called her Ricarda, which is the female equivalent of the name. So that was lovely, you see. So that's where that name comes from. Interesting that I'd never actually come across that name before. I'd heard of Ricardo. We've all heard of Ricardo, but Ricarda, I'd never come across that. Right, so I'm just scrolling through here. Let's see whether anyone's asking any questions. What I've got on the screen here is it keeps saying Chloe has joined, Dawn has joined, Poppy has joined, but no one's asking any questions. TikTokers, do you have any questions? We're here to answer them if you like, assuming we know the answers. And if I don't know the answers, Mark will, because he knows everything. Because you're very intelligent, aren't you, despite your appearance?
This guy is hilarious.
You're very kind.
See, this might have to work with everybody. I tell you what, Yes.
Wait, I mean, I don't work with just anybody. Obviously not. I mean, you have to take what you can get. Okay. Right. Okay, now we've got a question. Right, we've got a question here from Aditya, who's one of my most loyal TikTok followers. Says, "Does Mark support Crystal Palace FC?"
They're my second team.
Oh, you shouldn't say that. Well, you're in Crystal Palace. You're going to have all the fans descending upon you.
Well, I used to go to a school called Whitehorse Manor School, which is in South Norwood, and Crystal Palace is actually at the back of it. So, yes, the players used to come to our school. This is when players used to come and visit schools back in, just kind of letting my age out here, back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And
when you were 50. Oh, it's a laugh an hour, isn't it? Yes.
So, yes, when I was younger, I used to support Crystal Palace, but then Ian Wright moved to Arsenal, and now I support Arsenal. So
you're not supporting the team, you're supporting the individual players.
But Ian Wright retired many years ago, but I still support Arsenal Football Club. But I support Crystal Palace when Crystal Palace are playing.
Yes.
But when they play Arsenal, I still support Arsenal. So kind of put to the back burner. But yes, I do support Crystal Palace as a second team.
I don't really support Crystal Palace, but I kind of keep half an ear on how they're doing. Yeah. In fact, I think I told you, or maybe I didn't. I either did or didn't tell you. One of those two options is likely. That shortly after I moved to this area, I was just walking along the street here, And someone stopped me in the street and says, "Excuse me, can you tell me where Crystal Palace football ground is?" And I didn't know. I'd only just arrived. Well, I don't feel so bad that I didn't know, because actually it's miles away. It's down in Selhurst Park, which is, not really around the corner.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
it's quite a distance away.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then the only other interest I have in football is when it's the World Cup. And I follow it until England get kicked out, and then I lose interest again.
Same here. Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't usually take very long.
Yeah. Oh, no, in the last couple of tournaments, we've been to finals and semi-finals. Yes, we have.
Oh, semi-finals. Okay. Oh, well, you see, I mean...
Lost 2 finals under Gareth Southgate, 2 Euros.
Oh.
Yes, it's a memory that most of us England fans can't get over still.
Well, he's in the history book now. And it's good to just show that you need a young manager to invigorate. What's the word?
Invigorate, yes. Yeah, well, if they need a young manager, I could do that. Young at heart.
Everything tied up.
Okay, now, Emma Rose has said, "What's your favourite task in the Big Brother house?" Actually, I've already answered that one. That's the one about the perfect day task.
Yeah.
The one where we have to keep going back to bed every time we made a mistake. Do you know, we never got to the end of that task. We never actually completed it. Well, it was. Yeah, we got very close to the end, and if we had done, we'd have got a luxury budget, but we just didn't quite make it. Right, now then, there's another one here. Oh, wait, it was here. Now it's vanished up the screen. Bear with me. Oh, there we are. Ben says, "Richard, what instruments do you play?" Right, well, classical guitar was my main instrument, which is why I have long nails on one hand only. There you go. Look, well, not on this hand, only on this hand. And also the piano. Piano is the other one. The piano has actually superseded the guitar. Now I do more piano than guitar. Abby says, and now Abby's one of my loyal followers as well. Yes, and Abby says, "You said you met Mark in your church, but how did you approach him to join your podcast?" Right, Abby, I didn't actually approach him, did I? This was your idea. It's all your fault.
Well, yes. I suggested what you could do. I said, this is what Richard could do solo. I said, Richard, why don't you just do a podcast? Because it was over Christmas about 2 years ago now, wasn't it? And we were just discussing, shooting off ideas about what Richard could do as a sort of side, I don't know, hobby or project.
Well, yes, I just needed something else to happen. Really. Yeah. And I said, I need something else to happen because I need something else to happen.
Yeah.
And you said, well, what do you want to do then? And there's lots of things I want to do. There are many things. But when you asked me, the thing that came right to the top of my mind at that moment was I said, well, I've always dreamed of hosting my own radio show. And you said, well, have you thought about podcasts? And I hadn't done. And so we talked about it a bit more. And initially, if you remember, it was going to be me just sitting here prattling away and you twiddling the knobs and doing all the technical stuff. And then it dawned on us that when we got together, we start talking and just never stop. It kind of just bounces back and forth. So I thought, well, let's try it as a sort of double act. And it seems to have worked all right. But this all started long before actually, before Big Brother ever became a thing. Before I ever knew I was even going to apply for it, or ever was going to happen. So this has been in progress since long before that.
Yeah, because the thing is, we did pre-record a lot of episodes prior to Big Brother.
Yes, we did.
But we only started releasing them, was it about 2 weeks before you got into Big Brother? So then everybody thought, well, that's a bit of a perfect time, but we literally didn't know you was A, going to go into Big Brother, and B, like, it was going to be so successful. So thank you to everybody for listening and watching. It's
indeed, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And even when I did go in, it was only with 3 days' notice anyway.
Yes.
And not only that, but they sent me a message to say, thank you for auditioning, but we don't want you after all. It was lovely to meet you, but go away.
Yeah.
But we do encourage you to apply for the next series, is what it said. And then they phoned me and said, actually, you can do it after all. So there you go, you see. Right, now then, so those of you who've been following these TikToks, the podcast that we're referring to is called A Jolly Good Natter Over Coffee and Biscuits. It's there on YouTube, free of charge. And if you do enjoy it, please consider subscribing to the channel. Just click the subscribe thing and click the like button. Won't cost you a brass farthing, but it means that we can do all sorts of exciting things on YouTube if we get enough subscribers. So please do that if you can bear to, and share it with your friends.
Yes, and also there's extra content on the YouTube as well, just to let you know. So things you see here, it's fantastic, but there's sometimes a little bit extra content on the YouTube channel. So please,
Absolutely.
yes. And when we get to 500 subscribers,
Yes.
we might even do something special then.
Well, so you keep telling me. See, I mean, you handle all the technical side. I don't know what.
Well, when we get to 1,000, that's when the real magic happens.
Oh, I said, what about 10,000?
10,000? Oh gosh.
I mean, do you keep getting extra bonuses and things?
Well, why not?
Well, I don't know.
We've got to be grateful to everybody who listens and watches the podcast.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I was saying. See, if you're watching us here on live, hi there. And if you're watching live, come on in and I'll buy you a coffee. I will.
Yes.
Yeah? And it might not even be cold.
Yeah. And the thing is, Richard, maybe better at making coffees than teas. As when we was in Alistair's in the previous podcast, he didn't squeeze his tea bag, which was a disgrace.
Yes, Steve Phillips, he's pulling me up on that.
Yeah. He's bringing it still up.
Yeah, well, I say to him, hello, Steve, I hope you've been squeezing your tea bag today. You see, I'm so familiar now with all my TikTok followers, you see, that I can exchange banter like that. And also, don't forget, folks, that yes, there is the podcast that we're talking about. Yep. We also have an email associated with it, a jollygoodnatter@gmail.com. So if you have got any questions or any topics you want us to talk about, please send us a message. We can't wait to hear from you. And now Zoe says, see, now I like comments like this. I like comments like this from Zoe. See, Zoe says, now are you listening to this, Mr. Cameron? Are you listening?
I am. Yes,
right. Well, listen. Zoe, so you might not agree with it, but I do. I agree with this.
Go ahead.
Zoe says, Richard, you are so amazing. See, now who am I to disagree with that? And more to the point, who are you to disagree with it?
Just going to throw away the key.
Oh dear. You see what I have to work with? Oh dear, I'll tell my mum about it.
Put it in a box, put it under the sea.
Actually, that reminds me of that Bad Brother task when I had to unlock the box with all those keys, and one of the keys just dropped straight inside. I thought, I can't believe I've done that. If that's the one that would have opened the box, I bet up in the production gallery they were going, what if that's the one that opens the box? What are we going to do? Oh gosh. Anyway, fortunately it was all right. It was okay. Now, a question from Ben. Ben says, is Mark also a musician? Oh, sorry.
Unfortunately not, no.
No, fortunately he's not. Yes, no. Can you imagine that? No. Never too late to start, of course.
Very true, very true.
Hey, now look, Harry is here. Now, Harry is saying, hey, Richie, Rich. Now, Harry is one of my loyal followers too. And you remember the discussion we were having recently about the dearth of dark chocolate bounties in the world? Right. Harry makes his own. Can you believe that?
Amazing.
He somehow mixes up all that coconut stuff and puts the dark chocolate around it. And he keeps promising me he's going to send me some. Don't you, Harry? Hasn't arrived yet, Harry. Hasn't. Don't worry, I'll have some coffee while I'm waiting. It's okay, I'll wait. Yes, just talk amongst yourselves.
Fantastic. Speaking of food.
Oh, yes.
Taste test.
Look, see how we segued seamlessly into that. It's time for the taste test. Now, the taste test has become a regular fixture of these podcasts, as you know. It actually is part of the reason why, this is the only reason why some people watch the thing, you know. But I think it's because they just want to make sure we're getting enough nutrition.
Yes.
See, our lovely viewers and listeners are so concerned for our well-being. Right, so we're going to do the taste test. Now, the item under consideration on this episode for our taste test is, I'll hold it up here so you can see, look at that. It's an almond tart. Look at that, you see? Yeah. And each one individually wrapped for freshness. So, shall we try it then? Shall we break the seal?
Well, we've got to do rich edition. What do you think of the packaging?
The packaging isn't particularly inspiring, but of course, if there was anything written on the outside, it would obscure the view of the item inside. So, you know, let's give credit where it's due. All right. Oh, and you've got your notebook there to write the scores down.
Yes, I certainly do.
Do you remember last time we did one of these? It was with Sam here, and we had the jelly beans from Chris in Bournemouth.
Yeah, thank you once again, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and Sam just took one of those and he gave it 11 out of 10. Do you remember that?
Yes.
See, which kind of bends the rules a little bit, but he obviously enjoyed it. Right. I'm ready. See, I'm ready. You're not ready. I'm ready.
Well, we're getting the
you see, ready. I'm ready. See, I'm just on the case. Well, he's probably too busy trying to remember his name. Come on, Mr. Cameron. Come on.
Page.
See, I'm getting cramp holding this tart in this position.
Well, you are 60.
Well, oh, listen. Did you hear that? Ageist.
Right. You may need to take more paracetamol after this as well.
See that, and after all that, and now he started before I've even.
Well, now I'm a bit into it. Video evidence here. Video evidence. All right, ready?
Right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We like it.
I do have a couple of things.
Right. The connoisseur, the gourmet chef is about to give us the benefit of his superior knowledge. Come on then, Fanny Craddock.
It is warmed up slightly. This will taste a little bit better.
Well, sit on
they
it.
Taste nice. They do taste nice, but I think it would add a little bit more to it. They're warm. We had a little bit of cream on top as well.
Well, if you hold it between your hands for a long time, that'll do that.
Maybe. But yeah, they're quite nice. It would add to it. But yeah, they're quite nice.
Well, yes. I always like things warm. That is true. I can imagine it with a nice little bit of custard or a dollop of cream or something. Yeah, that'd be nice. But yes, but no, not at all. Very, very agreeable. Sorry, and I'm just. Now Harry's just commenting about his red chocolate bounties. Yes, where are they? He says, well, I don't know where they are, Harry. You're the one who makes them. Now here's an interesting comment. Lucy says, "Are you both a couple?" Lucy, what do you mean by that exactly?
No, we're not.
You see, Lucy, you've caused Ken, the owner of the place, just to collapse into hysterical giggles.
I'm laughing.
He is. He's laughing uncontrollably and hysterically. Not quite as much as I giggled in the Big Brother house. It's got to be said, but it's still, it's a good try. Yes.
Yeah.
Laura says, "Do you have grandchildren?" Yes, I do, Laura. I have 3. Their names are Ricardo, Samuel, and Joseph. But I don't think you've quite got any grandchildren yet, have you?
No.
Even though you look very old.
No.
Right. Now this is nice. Because Harry, he of the dark chocolate bounties, says we want the Richie Rich album. Now that's referring to the rap that I did on the Big Brother house. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, somebody sent me they kind of gone into Photoshop or something, and I'm sitting there in the diary room, and they've given me a big pair of shades and a massive great medallion thing, and looking all kind of cool. Much the same as I do normally, actually. What am I going to do with you? I worry about you.
Don't worry about you. Saying things like that.
Well, you're very kind.
What concerns me the most. You normally do.
Right. Ben says, Ben's on a roll. See, Ben's on a roll with these questions. Ben says, does Mark watch EastEnders? I can answer that.
Go ahead.
If you're referring to the TV series, no, he doesn't. But if you're referring to actual people who live in the East End, every Sunday night, he just pops along there where they sell hamburgers. He just sits there with his collar turned up and just starts looking. Yes.
So I will answer the question. Maybe once a year, I will flick over to BBC One, and I will see an episode just to see what's going on, to see if Grant and Phil Mitchell are together, because they normally appear every couple of years in an episode or a couple of episodes. So I always just check to see what's going on. But no, not really. It's not something I catch up on. I don't really watch as much TV as I used to be honest.
But would you watch it more if I was in it?
What character would you play?
Well, that's a separate question. Just answer my question.
No, the reason why, because it'll make it more interesting. If you're just going to be some bloke, some extra just sitting on the chair, then
no, well, that wouldn't count. I mean, a proper role.
Well, this is why I need to establish what type of character. Are you going to go in there as like a bad Richard? Like you just mentioned earlier.
Yes.
A bad Richard, go in there, cause complete chaos.
Yes.
Start flipping tables.
Yes. I'm quite a thug,
Yeah.
Quite a hooligan, really.
On the market stall, just pulling all the fruit down and running past and laughing at everybody, things like that.
Well, they do say, don't they, that some of the nicest people make some of the best villains in the acting world.
Yeah.
That some of the people who play the most hideous characters off screen are actually very charming, and so maybe that's something I should consider. Yes. See, now, Chunky Obsession, who's also known as Lindsay, says you were fantastic. I don't know whether she's talking about you or me. But anyway, I'll assume that I know the answer to that.
Charlie.
King Zach says, yes, that will be good. I agree, King Zach, yes. Right. Okay. So, all right for a moment. So we haven't done our scores yet for these.
I finished mine.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, what was it? What's your score?
Well, no, I finished eating mine.
Oh.
So I'm just waiting for you.
Oh.
And then we'll do scores afterwards.
Oh, all right. So you're in charge now. You're telling me what we're going to do. See, you see what I have to put up with. I don't know. They're just not paying me enough to do this. I do. I'll send you an invoice at the end. Right. Okay. Look. Well, I've finished it now. So, what's your score?
I'm gonna give it a 7. The reason why is because if it was warm and it had cream or custard, it will go up.
Well, I told you you could warm it up if you sat on it.
So I'm gonna give it a 7.
A 7.
Yes.
All right. I think I'm a little bit higher than that. I'm going to give it an 8.503. Well, you asked me, I told you. Oh, I do worry. I worry.
That's the most obscure number we've used.
Well, I like to, explore new avenues. Who wants just to be doing the same old? I'm just 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. That's just dull, isn't it? See, yes. Anyway, that's my.
We have used 8.73s and things, 7.23s, but you've added an extra digit on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's about time we did. Do you think so? I mean,
this could open up a can of a Pandora's box. Sorry,
well,
because I could add an extra 0, then you can add extra 0, and this could go on continuously.
Yes.
And then I won't have enough, room on the page to fill it all out. That's something you think about.
Oh, and that troubles you, does it?
Oh, how would I fit it all on one page?
But you won't have a faithful representation of the scores that we've given. Because if the viewers and the listeners want to go and try out these things for themselves, they've got to have an idea what the score is.
Okay, I'll give you an example. 8.25, 6.21.
You can't have 2 points.
Well, this is
8.25, 6.21. That's 2 points.
But this is what I mean. The numbers could get ridiculous. The scores could get outrageous.
Well, of course they do. If you have 2 points, you can only have 1 point.
Right. Well, if I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes. That's just counting. That's not even points.
It is because you can have 1, 2. If you go numbers, it goes up, doesn't it? It's a number. It goes up in a sequence.
Yeah. So that's like 12 billion or something out of 10.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Then it could get outrageous.
Well, only if it goes above 10. As long as it stays within 10. The number I just told you was less than 10.
But the point is
I can't believe we're having this conversation.
The point is, though, Richard, I could add on another digit next time around, and then you could add another digit. This is what I mean. It could get outrageous because it could go backwards and forwards each time. But we need to have a parameter of, okay, let's just keep it within the normal. We can do a 8.52, for instance. We can keep it with the 3 digits.
Yes.
Only. Let's not go above that because it can get outrageous.
Are you dictating?
Because then I would have to outdo you next time round.
Yes, but that's of course never going to happen, as we know.
And this is what I mean. It can get outrageous. This could get outrageous.
But can I just remind you that any mathematician will tell you that pi, the Greek number pi, 3.142. They have never been able to calculate that to the last digit. It is infinite. It just goes on and on and on.
That's why I fear that could happen with us.
Yes, exactly. But because that sets a precedent, you see, there's no reason why we shouldn't have a few more digits in our scores. See? Got him. Right. Let's have a look.
We'll keep it to 3 digits. 3.
Well, we could have 3.1. Right.
So you're happy with that score, though?
Yes, thank you.
Right, okay.
I can't remember what it was, but I am happy.
So 8.5. Okay, so Richard.
You can round it up. I can give it you with all my little digits. You can round it up or down as you wish.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll keep it 8.5. Yeah.
Now, while you're doing that, Emma says, "What was your favourite room in the house?"
Well, you answered that, didn't you, earlier?
Did I?
Dining room. That's what you said.
Yeah, Diary Room I think was my favourite one. I'll tell you which my least favourite one was. That was The Lose. It does feel a bit peculiar, having a camera leering at you when you're in the toilet, basically. But there you go. Such is the life in the Big Brother house. What? You knew that. I told you that before.
Yeah. I said it. I'm just laughing. Yeah.
Oh, well, you're very kind. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, now you see now. Harry of the dark chocolate bounties. It says, "I'm eating some of my red chocolate bounties." You see, just rubbing it in, Harry.
Ah, dearie me, Harry. You've got to share.
Yes. Harry,
or send us the ingredients so we can make it ourselves.
Well, I think you should send us the complete product. You bring them in person. Emma says, "Do you have a favourite song, Richard?" Yes, I do, Emma. I've been asked this a lot. And it's called "There Was Magic in the Air." And it's a song that I wrote myself. And I know that sounds rather self-aggrandizing. But as I always say, if an author and a composer can't like their own music, how would they expect anyone else to do?
Okay, excluding your own music,
yes.
Do you have a composer or someone that you listen to that you really enjoy, apart from your own stuff?
One of my favourite pieces ever is Nimrod from the Enigma Variations by Elgar. And I would love to have that played at my funeral, but not today.
You never know. After the infinite numbers, maybe our last podcast.
You're very kind.
Well, it could be a solo podcast.
Emma says, "Sorry if I'm asking questions you've already answered." Don't worry, Emma. The same questions do tend to come round.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
But it's all right. It's perfectly fine, because if you didn't ask them, we're just going to sit here and go, and then we wouldn't have much of a podcast, would we? No. All right. So, yes. So, now you asked me earlier if I had plans for the coming week, and I was about to ask you the same question, but then we got sidetracked onto something else. So, do you have any plans for the coming week, or the coming month, or the coming year, or the coming decade? Do you have anything you're planning in the next 10 years of your life, or are you just going to sit at home and do the hoovering?
So, Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to do admin.
Ooh, did you hear that? You heard it here first, viewers. Yeah. Mark's going to do some admin on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, the reason why is where I've had end of term, so I've been very busy with the kids.
Oh, yes.
So, admin, get some things sorted around the house, and then go to the coffee shop on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday, take a rest day. I'm just going to relax. And then Friday, I've got my youngest daughter staying with me for the weekend.
Oh, again, right, okay.
So, yes.
Right.
Just a little bit of recovery for Monday and Tuesday, because I'm going to be busy. Obviously busy today, busy tomorrow, and then Monday and Tuesday, just kind of a bit slower pace.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, given how overworked you are, I think you're coping with this recording very well, actually, I must say. Yes, you're doing very well. Now, plans for art. Oh, hello, Alistair. Yes, nice to see you. Hello, Gary. Hello, Cherry. We have some exciting things coming up. Okay, we've had some very good guests on our show recently. We've got some others in the pipeline, but in particular, someone who started conversing with me on TikTok is someone who works behind the scenes in TV. Now, he hasn't actually worked on Big Brother itself, but he's done The Chase, and he's done what's that one with Alistair Armstrong? Oh, Pointless. And he's done a lot of things for over many years. And he's very keen to come and be a guest on our show. And I think it'd be really interesting to get that fresh perspective from someone from behind the lens. And so he's going to be, it's just a question of when we can synchronize the diaries and get him to come along.
Brilliant.
So hopefully before long, so that's something to make a date. Keep your eyes open. We'll certainly let you know when that's going to happen.
That'd be brilliant.
There we are. Right. So before we head off into the sunset, is there anything else, Mr. Cameron, that you want to avail us with in your encyclopedic knowledge of everything?
Thank you very much for joining us today, everybody. It's been a pleasure as always.
It has.
And we did it on a Saturday, this recording, which is not our normal day.
That's right. And I hope you'll agree that I coped with him incredibly well.
That's another one. That's another key to put in the chest underneath the sea.
It jolly well is. Well, yes. Hope you enjoyed it. Please check out some of the other episodes on the podcast as well on YouTube. They're all there. You'll notice all the early episodes pre-Big Brother are all audios, but now we've gone up market and we're doing videos now, which I think is better. Videos are better, aren't they? Yes, even for people with our questionable appearance, but that's all right. So, yes, thank you for all your questions on here. Thank you for attending. I shall look forward to our next TikTok live, which will probably be later today, knowing me. I just can't keep away.
I know my eldest daughter says you do quite a few. So
Yeah, it's become a regular fixture. Well, but people keep coming back, you see, and that's great. So thank you for everyone who's been watching the podcast. Please do subscribe to it. Don't forget the email address, jollygoodnatter@gmail.com. Thank you for reading my books, and for the thing that I was just about to say that I've now forgotten. But that's all right. Go on then.
Yeah, we are on Blue Sky now. I forgot to mention to you, Jolly Good Natter at Blue Sky.
Hey?
It's Twitter. It's another social media platform. So we're on Blue Sky.
You mean another place where you can get podcasts from? You mean
where you can actually interact and chat and things.
Oh,
like
right.
that.
I have no idea what that even is.
Yeah, Richard and Technology is not.
All right. So if someone's watching right now and wants to get in touch, what's the best way they can do it?
Well, they can go to Jolly Good Natter at bluesky.com.
Oh, so it's just another email address.
Twitter. You know what Twitter is?
Well, I know what it was. It's called X now.
X.
Yes.
X Twitter. You know what that is.
Yeah.
Blue Sky is what most people have gone to from X.
Oh, right.
So we're on that as well.
Oh, okay.
I promote the podcast on there. So
oh, well done. Okay. Well,
so if you want to communicate with us on there, you're certainly happy to do so on there.
All right.
Or the email address as well.
And of course, you can always send me a direct message here on TikTok if you want. So thanks for all your questions. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for the pleasure of your company. Look forward to seeing you again soon. And yes, if you're interested in one of my books, a signed copy, also send me a direct message and we'll sort it out. Okay, so I think we're heading off. Are we heading off into the sunset?
Yes, so be nice to each other. Be nice to each other. And don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Bye. Okay, bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.